सर्वे सर्वेभ्यो नमस्काराः। अद्य सिद्धान्तकौमुद्याः पञ्चविंशः पाठः प्रकृतिभावप्रकरणे निपात एकाजनान् इति सूत्रतः आरभ्यते। गतकक्ष्यायाः पुनरावर्तनं किञ्चित्। प्रकृतिभावप्रकरणे प्लुतप्रगृह्य अचिनित्यम् इत्यनेन प्रकृतिभावः विधीयते। अर्थात् प्लुतानां प्रगृह्याणां च प्रकृतिभावः भवति इति। तत्र प्लुतः नामकः प्रगृह्यश्च नामकः इति प्रश्ने प्लुतसंज्ञाविधायकानि सूत्राणि उच्यन्ते दीक्षितैः आदौ। प्रत्यभिवादे अशूद्रे अशूद्रविषये प्रत्यभिवादे यद्वाक्यं तस्य टेः प्लुतः भवति। अभिवादये देवदत्तोऽहम् इत्यस्ति चेत् तस्य प्रत्यभिवादे आयुष्मान् भव देवदत्ता इत्यत्र अन्तिमस्य अकारस्य प्लुतः भवति। ततः दूराद्धूते च इति प्लुतविधायकम् अग्रिमं सूत्रं। दूरादाह्वाने यद्वाक्यं तस्य टेः प्लुतः भवति। एहि कृष्णा इति स्थिते अथवा सप्तून् पिब देवदत्ता इति दूरादाह्वानसन्दर्भे प्लुतः भवति। हैहे प्रयोगे हैहयोः दूरादाह्वानेऽपि यदि है शब्दस्य हे शब्दस्य वा प्रयोगः अस्ति तर्हि तेषामेव अथवा तयोरेव प्लुतः भवति, न तु वाक्यस्य टेः। अथवा है राम इत्यस्ति चेत् है इत्यस्यैव प्लुतः, न तु राम इत्यत्र अकारस्य। ततः गुरोरनुतोऽनन्त्यस्याप्येकैकस्य प्राचाम्। अनन्त्यस्यापि वर्णस्य क्वचित् प्लुतः भवति। सः गुरुवर्णः भवति चेत् ऋकारभिन्नश्च भवति चेत्, अर्थात् देवदत्ता इत्यत्र दकारोत्तर एकारस्यापि प्लुतः भवितुमर्हति, द्वितीयदकारोत्तर अकारस्यापि प्लुतः भवितुमर्हति, अन्त्यस्य अकारस्य तु दूराद्धूते च इत्यनेन। एतत्तु एकैकस्य इत्युक्तत्वात् पर्यायेण एतेषां स्वराणां प्लुतः भवति इति सूत्रार्थः। प्राचाम् इत्युच्यते तत्र योगविभागेन सर्वोऽपि प्लुतः विकल्पः इति सिद्ध्यति। एवं प्लुतं विधाय क्वचित् प्लुतस्य अप्लुतवद्भावमपि विदधाति पाणिनिः। अर्थात् प्लुतः अप्लुतवद् भवति, प्लुतकार्यं प्रकृतिभावं न करोति। प्लुतस्य सत्त्वेऽपि प्रकृतिभावः न भवति। क्व अप्लुतवद् उपस्थिते, उपस्थितः नाम अनार्षः इति शब्दः, तस्मिन् परे प्लुतः अप्लुतवद् भवति। सुश्लोका इति इत्यस्ति चेत् प्लुतस्य अप्लुतवद्भावे गुणे सुश्लोकेति इति रूपं सिद्ध्यति। एवमेव ई चाक्रवर्मणस्य इत्यनेन विकल्पेन अप्लुतवद्भावः विधीयते। प्लुतस्य इकारस्य अचिपरे स्वरे परे अप्लुतवद्भावः भवति इति सूत्रार्थः। एवं प्लुतप्रकरणं समाप्य ततः प्रगृह्यसंज्ञाप्रकरणे प्रविष्टाः। प्रगृह्यसंज्ञाविधायकं प्रथमं सूत्रं भवति ईदूदे द्विवचनं प्रगृह्यम्। ईकारान्तम् ऊकारान्तम् एकारान्तं च द्विवचनं प्रगृह्यसंज्ञं भवति इति सूत्रार्थः। हरि एतौ, विष्णु इमौ, गङ्गे अमु इत्यादीनि उदाहरणानि। ततः अदसो मात्, अदशब्दे मात् परौ यौ ईदूतौ तेषां प्रगृह्यसंज्ञा भवति अथवा तयोः प्रगृह्यसंज्ञा भवति। यथा अमी ईशाः इत्यत्र अदशब्दे यः मकारः अमी इत्यत्र मकारः, तस्मात् परः ईकारः, तस्य अचिपरे प्रकृतिभावः प्रगृह्यसंज्ञायां सत्याम् अचिपरे प्रकृतिभावः भवति। एवमेव रामकृष्णावमु आसाते, अमु आसाते इत्यत्र मकारात् परः यः ऊकारः तस्य प्रगृह्यसंज्ञायां प्रकृतिभावो भवति इति अदसोमात् इति सूत्रस्य उदाहरणानि। ततः शे इति वैदिकं सूत्रं, वैदिकप्रक्रियासम्बद्धं सूत्रं। शे इति वेदेषु सुप्रत्ययानाम् आदेशः, तस्मिन् सति तस्य प्रगृह्यसंज्ञा भवति, तेन प्रकृतिभावोऽपि भवति। अस्मे इन्द्रा बृहस्पति इत्यत्र शे इत्यस्य सत्त्वात् प्रगृह्यत्वात् सन्ध्यभावः। अधुना प्रगृह्यसंज्ञाम् अनुवर्तते निपात एका जनाङ् इति अग्रिमं सूत्रम्। सङ्ख्यायां दोषः अस्ति। चतुर्दशं सूत्रं निपात एकाच् अनान्। पदत्रयम् अस्ति, निपातः एकाच् अनान् इति प्रगृह्यम् इति अनुवर्तते। ईदूदे द्विवचनं प्रगृह्यम् इत्यतः प्रगृह्यम् इति अनुवर्तते। कः अर्थः एकाच् निपातः एकः अच यस्मिन् सः एकाच् यः निपातः यस्मिन् निपाते केवलम् एकः अजेव वर्तते अन्यत् किमपि नास्ति तादृशः निपातः एकश्चासौ अच् इति क्षम्यतां विग्रहः अर्थात् एकः एव स्वरः यदि निपातसंज्ञां प्राप्नोति तर्हि तस्य प्रगृह्यसंज्ञा भवति आङ् वर्जः आङ् इत्यस्य तु न भवति तद्भिन्नानां निपातानां प्रगृह्यसंज्ञा भवति इति सूत्रार्थः उदाहरणम् इ विस्मये इ इत्येव निपातः यस्मिन् एक एव अज् अस्ति एकः एव अच् इकारः तस्य प्राग्वीश्वरान् निपाताः इत्यनेन चादिगणे पठितत्वात् निपातसंज्ञा भवति अस्य एकाच् निपातः एकः अच् निपातः प्रगृह्यः स्यात् इत्यनेन अस्य इकारस्य प्रगृह्यत्वे इ इन्द्रः इत्यत्र सन्धिः न भवति विस्मयार्थकः इ इति निपातः something like o in English. The sutra tells if there is a single vowel which has the samya called nipata. It is in the Chadigana we have a, e, u, r, all of them are categorized as nipatas in a particular sense. All of them have some meaning. So such nipatas which are in the form of a single ach will get pragruhya samya by this sutra. Except ang. Except the one nipata ang, all other nipatas which consist of a single ach will get pragruhya samya by this sutra. And then u vitarke ityuchyate u ityapi निपातः एकाच्रूपः निपातः तस्य प्रगृह्यसंज्ञायाम् उ उमेशः वितर्कः नाम संशयः something like u umeshaha means is this umesha or somebody else. There's a doubt, it is called vitarka, something like a guess where you're not sure of, that is vitarka. So u umeshaha ityatrapi savarna dirgha sandhiः न भवति. इदानीम् आङ् वर्जः इत्युक्तम् अर्थात् निपात एकाज् अनाङ् यः आङ् इति यः निपातः तस्य प्रगृह्यसंज्ञा न भवति. आङ् इत्यत्र ङकारस्य इत्संज्ञा अस्ति तस्मात् सः आ इति एकः अच निपातः तथापि प्रगृह्यसंज्ञा न भवति इत्युक्तम्. किन्तु अत्र काचन समस्या वर्तते. आ इति निपातः द्विविधः अस्ति. अङित् अपि अस्ति ङित् अपि अस्ति. अङित् इत्युक्ते केवलः आकारः तत्र ङकारस्य इत्संज्ञा नास्ति. ङित् अपि अस्ति यत्र आङ् इति मूलनिपातः तत्र ङकारस्य इत्संज्ञायाम् आ इत्येव शिष्यते. आ is actually of two kinds. There is one which is directly only a without any associated particle, and there is one which is ङित्, that is it has a ङित् ङakara as an anubandha. So you have an aṅit a and a ङित्. Okay? The sutra tells nipata ekaj anang with the ङakara. So it is only the ङित् a which is not pragruhya. The aṅit would be pragruhya. अनाङ् इत्युक्तेः अङिद् आकारः प्रगृह्य एव. यः ङित् आकारः तस्य निषेधः क्रियते सूत्रेण अनाङ् इत्युक्त्वा. यस्तु आकारः ङित् न भवति अर्थात् अङित् भवति तस्य प्रगृह्यसंज्ञा भवति. प्रगृह्यसंज्ञायां सत्यां प्रकृतिभावोऽपि भवति. उदाहरणार्थम् आ एवं नु मन्यसे. आ इट्स् लाइक एन एक्सक्लेमेशन. सो आ एवं नु मन्यसे इत्यत्र यः आकारः श्रूयते सः अङित् अर्थात् तस्य ङिदनुबन्धत्वं नास्ति. यदि ङकारः अनुबन्धः नास्ति तर्हि अनाङ् इति निषेधोऽपि न भवति. तस्मादयं प्रगृह्यः. The nishedha which says anang, that is ang will not be pragruhya, will apply only to that akara which has ङakara as an itsam, as it particle. Okay. So there are two kinds of akaras. There is one akara which does not have ङakara, which is aṅit, and there is one akara which is ङit. So the aṅit akara will be pragruhya. So there is prakriti bhava when you are saying a evan nu manyase. Similarly, a evan kila tat. इति वाक्यद्वयम् उभयत्रापि अङित् आकारः एव अस्ति. अत्र यः आकारः श्रूयते तस्य ङित्वं नास्ति. तस्मात् अत्र प्रगृह्यसंज्ञा अस्ति, प्रकृतिभावोऽपि भवति. ङित् तु न प्रगृह्यः यः आकारः ङित् भवति तस्य निपात एकाद् अनाङ् इति निषेधस्य श्रुतत्वात् प्रगृह्यसंज्ञा निषिध्यते तेन सन्धिः भवति उदाहरणं दीयते ईषदुष्णम् ओष्णम् ईषत् उष्णम् ईषत् is a little and ushnam is hot. So in the sense of it is say warm, we use there is a upasarga is a, or rather the nipata is a, which is ang, which is ङित्, which is joining with ushnam. So there, since there is no pragrihya samya, there is a sandhi and it forms the rupa oshnam. A ushnam gunasandhau sati oshnam. इदानीं प्रश्नः प्रयोगे तु उभयत्र केवलम् आकार एव श्रूयते कथं ज्ञायते कुत्र आकारः अङित् कुत्र च ङित् how can we decide where is it ङित् and where is it अङित् because either way you hear only the akara, the ngakara is not heard because it gets its samya, it gets lopa, so we never hear the akara. So how do we decide where is it ङित् and where is it अङित् is a question. तदा उच्यते वाक्यस्मरणयोर् अङित् अन्यत्र ङित् इति विवेकः. So it says vakye smarane, when it is an exclamation to a sentence or when it indicates smarana, memory. For example, in a evannu manyase, it's an exclamation which is associated with the sentence. A evan kila tat is something which you are saying, oh, yeah, right, it was so. You are remembering something and saying a evan kila tat. So in both these cases, it is अङित्. That is, the akara is not ङित्. Since it is not ङित्, there is pragrihya samya and there is prakriti bhava. Anyatra ङित् iti vivekaha. This in all other cases, it is ङित्. Okay. Actually, this part is taken from a shloka which says, Ishadarthe kriyayoge maryadabhividhau च यः etamatam ङितं vidyat vakyasmaranayor अङित्. The portion quoted by Dikshitar is taken from this shloka. This shloka tells what are all the meanings in which a can be used, and among those, where is it ङित् and where is it अङित्. Okay, so it is used ishadarthe. Ishat nama svalpam, svalparthe, meaning of very little. Kriya yoge, when it is an upasarga. This is when it is associated with a dhatu. Maryada abhividhau, maryada and abhividhi. Tena vina maryada tam abhivyapya abhividhihi ityuchyate. Maryada means a limit. That is something beyond which it does not cover is maryada. For example, we say asetu amukti samsaraha is the standard example given. Amukti samsaraha. Samsara, that is the world exists till you obtain mukti. That is, it does not, it ends where mukti is there. It is the end limit of samsara. There we use a mukti. There the a is used in the sense of maryada. Whereas abhividhi means up to something and including it. For example, when you say asetu abala vriddhaha, which is a more standard example, abala vriddhaha, we are saying including both kids and older people. Some audience has both, it's an audience which spans both very small children and aged people. We say abalam avriddham. That is including the balas on one limit and including the vriddhas on the other limit. It is called abhividhi. Maryada is a limit which does not include the thing which is indicating the limit, whereas abhividhi is one which is inclusive of that thing which denotes the limit. Okay. So in both these cases we use the nipata a. So in all these cases, ishadarthe, kriyayoge, maryadayam, abhividhau cha yaha akaraha, tam atam, arthat tam akaram, ङितं vidyat, ङित् iti janiyat. You should consider such akara as ङित्. Wherever akara is used in ishadartha, in kriya yoga, in maryada or in abhividhi, then that akara is ङित्. Akara is ङित् means it does not have pragrihya samya and sandhi will happen. Vakyasmaranayoho aङित्. Whereas if the akara is an exclamation to a sentence or smarana, it is used as an exclamation of remembering, then it is not nit. If it is not nit, there is pragrihya samya by nipata ekaj anang and there is no sandhi. Right? Let's see examples. ईषदर्थे अधुना एव दृष्टम्. ईषदुष्णम्. ईषद् इत्यर्थे आ इत्युपसर्गः. आ इति निपातः उपयुज्यते. आ उष्णं गुणसन्धौ ओष्णम्. क्रियायोगे आ अगच्छत्. गमधातोः लङ्लकारे आ इति स्थिते अस्य क्रियायोगत्वात् क्रियया गच्छति इति क्रियया सह योगः अस्ति इति कारणात् अत्र ङित् आकारः ङित्वात् प्रगृह्यसंज्ञा नास्ति सन्धिः भवति आगच्छत्. मर्यादायाम् अभिविधौ वा अन्तपर्यन्तम् इत्यर्थे आ अन्तम् इति स्थिते सन्धिः भवति आन्तम्. यस्तु वाक्ये स्मरणे वा आकारः तस्य ङित्वाभावात् प्रगृह्यसंज्ञा भवति प्रकृतिभावश्च भवति. आ एवं नु मन्यसे आ एवं किल तत्. ओके ओके, is this clear? Any questions? Should we move on? Agrimam pragrihya samya vidhayakam sutram bhavati ot इति एकमेव पदं सूत्रे. पूर्वसूत्रात् इदुदेद्वेषणं प्रगृह्यम् इत्यतः प्रगृह्यम् इति अनुवर्तते. निपात एकाजनाङ् इत्यतः निपातः इत्यपि अनुवर्तते. ओत् निपातः अर्थात् ओकारान्तः निपातः प्रगृह्यसंज्ञकः भवति इति सूत्रार्थः. ओदन्तो निपातः प्रगृह्यः स्यात्. उदाहरणम् अहो ईशाः. अहो इति निपातः चादिगणे पठितत्वात् तस्य निपातसंज्ञा वर्तते. ओदन्तत्वात् अनेन सूत्रेण प्रगृह्यसंज्ञायां सत्त्वं सन्धिः न भवति. अहो ईशाः इत्यत्र प्रकृतिभावः. Nothing about special about the sutra. It says if the nipata ends in okara, then it will get pragrihya samnya. Example is aho. Since it has pragrihya samnya, logically the prakriti bhava also follows. Sambuddhau shakalyasyeta vanarshe. Sattvari padani santi. Sambuddhau shakalyasya itau anarshe. Iti chedaha. इदुदेद्वेषणं प्रगृह्यम् इत्यतः प्रगृह्यम् इति अनुवर्तते. ओत् इति सूत्रतः ओत् इत्यपि अनुवर्तते. कः अर्थः? सम्बुद्धिनिमित्तकः ओकारः वा प्रगृह्यः अवैदिके इतौ परे. सम्बुद्धिनिमित्तकः सम्बुद्धौ यः ओकारः अर्थात् सम्बुद्धौ परे सम्बुद्धिं निमित्तीकृत्य यः ओकारः प्राप्तः सः प्रगृह्यः भवति. प्रगृह्यसंज्ञको भवति. कदा? अवैदिके इतौ परे. इतौ अनार्षे. अनार्षे इत्युक्ते अवैदिके इतौ अर्थात् इति शब्दे परे. सम्बुद्धिनिमित्तकस्य ओकारस्य अवैदिके इति शब्दे परे प्रगृह्यसंज्ञा भवति. सन्धिः न भवति. विष्णु इति. विष्णु इति विष्णु इति शब्दस्य सम्बोधने सम्बोधनप्रथमाविभक्तौ एकवचनं. विष्णु इत्यस्मात् सुप्रत्यये कृते रस्वस्य गुणः इत्यनेन गुणः भवति. सम्बुद्धिं निमित्तीकृत्य गुणः प्राप्तः. अयं सम्बुद्धिनिमित्तकः ओकारः. तस्य इतौ परे अवैदिके इति शब्दे परे प्रगृह्यसंज्ञा भवति. तस्मात् विष्णु इति. प्रकृतिभावे सति विष्णु इति. अयं प्रकृतिभावः विकल्पेन शाकल्यस्य इत्युक्तत्वात् विकल्पेन अयं प्रकृतिभावः तदभावे अर्थात् प्रगृह्यसंज्ञा अभावे. वस्तुतः अत्र सम्बुद्धौ शाकल्यस्येतावनाशेत्यनेन विकल्पेन प्रगृह्यसंज्ञा. प्रकृतिभावस्तु प्लुतप्रगृह्या अचिनित्यम् इति सूत्रेणैव. प्रगृह्यसंज्ञाभावे विष्णु इति स्थिते एचोयवायावः इत्यनेन अवादेशो भवति. ततः लोपशाकल्यस्य इत्यनेन विकल्पेन वकारलोपः. वकारलोपे सति विष्ण इति. अलोपाभावे विष्णव इति प्रगृह्यसंज्ञायां विष्णो इति त्रीणि रूपाणि सम्पाद्यन्ते. So the sutra tells wherever we have an okara which has been derived using sambuddhi. What is in Sambodhana, wherever you have an okara, when it is followed by iti, by the word iti, which is not Vaidika, then we get Pragrihya Samya optionally. When there is Pragrihya Samya, there is no Sandhi, that is, there is Prakriti Bhava. So one form would be Vishnu iti. When there is no Pragrihya Samya, we can do Yantavanta Adesha, that is, Echo Yavayavaha ityanena Avadesha bhavati, tada Vishnaviti iti rupam. Avadeshe krite लोपशाकल्यस्य इत्यनेन विकल्पेन वकारलोपो भवति, तदा विष्ण इति रूपं, रूपत्रयं सिद्ध्यति. Okay, we'll see the answer immediately. What does it mean, Avaidika? There is iti shabda which is used in the Vedas, which is a part of the Vedas, and there is iti which is used in the Loka. So if the Vedas themselves have an iti, for example, Anarshe iti kim Brahma Bandhavityabravit. This is a Veda Vakya taken from some Veda, where the Vedic sentence itself has Brahma Bandho iti abravit. Brahma Bandhavityabravit. Here the iti is Vaidika. Arsha means Vaidika. So since it is Vaidika, there is no Pragrihya Samya. Brahma Bandho iti, we get Avadesha and it becomes Brahma Bandhaviti or Brahma Bandha iti. Only two forms. The form with Pragrihya is not seen in the Vedas. Only in Loka, in classical Sanskrit, when an okara, sambuddhi nimittaka okara is followed by iti shabda, then we have Pragrihya Samya. अग्रिमं सूत्रं भवति उयः. एकमेव पदं सूत्रे प्रगृह्यम् ईदुदे द्विवचनं प्रगृह्यम् इत्यतः प्रगृह्यम् इति अनुवर्तते. सम्बुद्धौ शाकल्यस्य एतावनार्षे इत्यतः शाकल्यस्य इति अनुवर्तते. इतौ इत्यपि अनुवर्तते. कः अर्थः? उयः इतौ वा प्रागुक्तम्. प्रागुक्तं नाम प्रगृह्य संज्ञा भवति, विकल्पेन भवति. शाकल्यस्य इत्युक्तत्वात् विकल्पेन भवति. कदा भवति? इतौ इति शब्दे परे. लोके वा भवतु वेदे वा भवतु, अनार्षे इति अत्र न सम्बध्यते. इति शब्दे परे उयः, उय् इति निपातः. उ is another nipata. So for the nipata, when it is followed by iti shabda, then optionally there is a pragrihya samya. For example, you have u iti. In uy, the yakara is it, so you are left with only u. So when it is followed by iti shabda, u iti iti sthite, pragrihya samyayam satyam u iti ityeva rupam, tadabhave tu iko yanachi ityanena yanadeshe viti. Ukarasya sthane vakaradesho bhavati viti. This sutra tells that the nipata uy gets pragrihya samya when it is followed by the word iti, and this pragrihya samya is optional. When there is pragrihya samya, there is prakriti bhava, otherwise there is sandhi. U इति अग्रिमं सूत्रम्. अत्रापि एकमेव पदं प्रगृह्यम् इति अनुवर्तते. ईदुदे द्विवचनं प्रगृह्यम् इत्यतः. सम्बुद्धौ शाकल्यस्य एतावनार्षे इत्यतः शाकल्यस्य इति अनुवर्तते. इतौ इत्यपि अनुवर्तते. उयः इत्यस्मात् उयः इत्यपि अनुवर्तते. कः अर्थः? उयः इतौ दीर्घः अनुनासिकः उ इत्ययम् आदेशः वा स्यात्. Actually, this is a continuation of the previous sutra. In the Ashtadhyayi, originally it was only uya u. That is, for uy, in place of uy, you get an adesha called u. Okay, but the Bhashyakara has split it into two different sutras to get three forms. Okay, we'll see how the three forms are. Now, this sutra tells that when uy is followed by iti shabda, there is an adesha. Instead of there being a pragrihya samya, there is an adesha. The adesha is u. This u is anunasika, dirgha, and also pragrihya. It has all three properties. It is dirgha, anunasika, and pragrihya. So the u is replaced by u. Okay, optionally. Okay, there is a question by Yulia. She asks, how do we know that Anarsha is not involved either in this sutra or the Uyaha? Commentary. Always the Anuvritti, what has to be taken from the previous sutra and what is not taken from the previous sutra is always decided by commentaries like the Bhashya or some other commentary. Okay. Now what is happening here when you have U plus iti, where this is ui, optionally there is an adesha. U iti sutrena दीर्घः अनुनासिकः प्रगृह्यः उ इति आदेशः भवति. अस्य प्रगृह्यत्वात् सन्धिः न भवति. उ इति एकं रूपम्. एतदभावे आदेशस्य अभावे उ इति स्थिते उयः इत्यनेन प्रकृतिभावः विकल्पेन भवति. उयः इत्यनेन प्रगृह्यसंज्ञा विकल्पेन भवति. ततश्च प्रकृतिभावः भवति. तदा उ इति रूपम्. तृतीयं तु उभयोः अभावे आदेशोऽपि न भवति, प्रगृह्यसंज्ञा अपि न भवति इति चेत् तदा यणचि इको यणचि इत्यनेन यण् सन्धिः भवति विति इति रूपम्. So actually the sutra was split to derive three forms. If it had been a single sutra as uya u, then optionally you would have got an adesha which is u iti, and in its absence you would have got the yanadesha which would be viti. We would not have been able to derive this u iti. Okay. So the sutra was split into two, uyaha and u. From uyaha you get an optional pragruhya samya. From u you get an optional adesha. Since both the sutras are optional, when they do not apply we get a sandhi. So basically there are three forms. इदानीं उयः प्रकरणस्य आरब्धत्वात् तत्सम्बद्धं सूत्रम् उच्यते दीक्षितैः. मय उयो वो वा चत्वारि पदानि. मयः उयः वः वा. नमो ह्रस्वादचि नमुन्नित्यम् इति सूत्रेण अचि इति अनुवर्तते. कः अर्थः? मयः इति पञ्चमी विभक्तिः. मयः परस्य इत्यर्थः. When my varna is followed by uyaha iti षष्ठी vibhakti. Uyaha sthane, in place of ui which is preceded by a my varna, achi pare, achi iti saptami vibhakti, achi pare ityarthaha. So there is a my varna which is followed by ui, which in turn is followed by ach. Then vaha iti prathama, vakaraha bhavati. Uyaha sthane, ukarasya sthane vakaraha adeshaha bhavati. विकल्पेन भवति इत्यर्थः. मयः परस्य उयः वः वा स्यात् अचि इति सूत्रार्थः. किमु उक्तम् इत्यस्ति. वस्तुतः अत्र किमु उ उक्तम्. उ इति उइ, उइ इति निपातः. किमु इति शब्दः we find it very often in the same sense as kim we use kimu. So there the ui is a nipata. So मयः परस्य उयः, मै मकारः मै वर्णः, तस्माद् यदा परत्वेन उकारः भवति तस्य अच्परकत्वे किं भवति? उकारस्य स्थाने वकारः आदेशः भवति. किमु उक्तम् इति स्थिते सवर्णदीर्घः प्राप्नोति, तं बाधित्वा अनेन सूत्रेण वकारः भवति आदेशः. किम् उक्तम् इति रूपम्. मय उयो वो वा इति सूत्रेण वकारादेशः किम् उक्तम्. तदभावे वकारादेशाभावे तु किमु उक्तम् इत्येव भवति. सन्धिः न भवति. तो न भवति. निपात एका जनाङ् इति सूत्रेण प्रगृह्य संज्ञा प्रकृतिभावश्च भवति. तेन अत्र सन्धिः न भवति. रूपद्वयं किम् उक्तम् इति एकं, किमु उक्तम् इति अपरं रूपम्. So by the sutra maya uyo vova, when the ukara actually the ui you have to look at it comprehensively. The ui has only ukara. So by nipata ekajana it gets a pragrihya samya compulsorily. When it is followed by iti shabda, then it gets an optional prakriti bhava or an optional u adesha. When it is preceded by mai varna and followed by ach, it gets an optional vakaradesha. So in the absence of vakaradesha, you have pragrihya samya by nipata ekajana, because it is an ekoch nipataha, a nipata which is in the form of a single ach. Then we get pragrihya samya, and from that prakriti bhava. Clear? Now there is a question which Dikshita raises here. When you do this adesha, that is kimu uktam ityatra vakaradeshe krute monuswaraha ityanena makarasya anuswaraha prapnoti. Monuswaraha is a sutra which we'll study in Hal Sandhis. It says mantasya padasya anuswaraha syat hali. Hali pare makarantasya padasya anuswaro bhavati. Iti sutrarthaha. Atra kim uktam ityatra kim iti mantam padam. तत्र यः मकारः तस्य अनुस्वारः भवेत् वकारस्य अच्त्वात् इति प्रश्नः तदा उच्यते वस्य असिद्धत्वात् न अनुस्वारः सूत्रक्रमं पश्यामः मोनुस्वारः इति तु अष्टमाध्यायस्य तृतीयपादस्य 23तमं सूत्रम् मयौयो वोवा इति तु अष्टमाध्यायस्य तृतीयपादस्य 33तमं सूत्रम् पूर्वत्रासिद्धम् इत्यनेन मयौयो वोवा इत्यनेन कृतः वकारादेशः मोनुस्वारः इति सूत्रं प्रति असिद्धः असिद्धत्वात् अनुस्वारः न भवति. The problem here is after we do the vakaradesha kimu uktam has been converted to kim uktam, then should we do anuswara by monuswaraha is a question, because monuswaraha tells when a makaranta pada is followed by hal, then the makara is converted to anuswara. Harim vande makaraha asti cheta agre vakarasya sastvat anuswaraha bhavati. Atrapi bhavati va. Can we do the anuswara here also is the question. The answer is no. Why not? Vasya asiddhatvat. Because vakara is asiddha to monuswara. Monuswara does not know that vakaradesha has happened, because the vakaradesha has been told by a later sutra. In the Tripadi, always purvatra asiddham. Maya uyo vova is not known by monuswaraha. Monuswaraha thinks there is still a ukara there. Kimu uktam is what monuswaraha sees. Since it does not know vakaradesha has happened, it does not see the hal. The vakara is the hal there. So it does not see the vakara, and hence there is no anuswara. Vasya asiddhatvat na anuswaraha. The last sutra in Pragrahya Samya Prakarana is Idutau cha saptam arthe. Trini padani santi. Idutau cha saptam arthe. Pragrahyam. Idude dvijanam pragrahyam ityatah pragrahyam iti anuvartate. Kaha arthaha? Saptamyarthe paryavasannam idudantam pragrahyam syat. Ikaranta or ukaranta, which carries the meaning of saptami vibhakti, will get the pragrahya samya. What is the example is Somo Gauri Adhishritaha. Atra Somo Gauri Adhishritaha ityatra vastutaha Gauryam iti artha. Vaidika prayogaha ayam. Mamaki tanu iti ityapi Vaidika prayogaha. This is something which is seen only in the Vedas. It says, the sutra says, if there is an ikaranta or ukaranta, that is Gauri or Tanu, which is actually carrying the meaning of Saptami. Here in this Somo Gauri Adhishritaha, the Gauri is actually means Gauryam in Gauri. Similarly, Mamaki Tanu ityatra Tanvam ityarthaha. Supam Suluk iti Saptamyaha Luk. Ubhayatra Gauri Ni. Ni iti pratyayah, saptam ekavachana pratyayah, tanu ni, punah saptam ekavachana pratyayah, supam suluk purva savarna chheya dadyaya jalaha iti sutrena, ni pratyayasya luk bhavati, luk nama lopaha bhavati. The pratyaya here, the saptami ekavachana pratyaya has been deleted by the sutra supam suluk, but the meaning is still present. Whenever you delete something, the meaning is not lost. Right? So the meaning of saptami is still here. The sutra tells wherever there is an ikaranta or ukaranta which carries the meaning of saptami vibhakti, then there is pragrahya samya. So Somo Gauri Adhishritaha ityatra sandhihi na bhavati. Ikarasya pragrahya samyatvat. Similarly, Mamaki Tanu iti ityatrapi ukarasya Tanu ityatra yaha ukaraha सह तदन्तस्य उकारान्तस्य तनु इत्यस्य प्रगृह्यसंज्ञा भवति. सूत्रार्थः. अत्र प्रश्नः अर्थग्रहणं किम्? सप्तम्यर्थे इति किमर्थम् उच्यते? सप्तम्याम् ईदूतौ च सप्तम्याम् इत्येव उच्यताम् इति प्रश्नः. Why does it say when it carries the meaning of saptami? Say when it has saptami. By logically it means when the artha of saptami is present. So he says vrittau arthantaropasankrante ma bhoot. Vritti is a term which is used very often by, it's a technical term by Vyakarana. Vritti means the definition, technical definition is parartha vidhana vrittihi. But vritti is actually, it refers to 5 different processes which happen in grammar. There is samasa, there is tad ekashesha, there is tadhita, there is sanadyanta dhatu, kridvritti, tadhita vritti, sanadyanta dhatu vritti, ekashesha vritti, and samasa vritti. There are 5 vrittis. Okay, vritti is basically it is generally where you modify a particle or you join two words to give a different meaning. For example, in samasa, when you are joining two different words, it merges together to give some different meaning. Similarly, in tadhita, when you are saying Dasharathasya apatyam, together it forms Dasharathi. It is different than just Dasharatha and than just apatya. It is a special thing. So such things are called vritti. In vritti, there are 5 kinds of vritti: samasa, ekashesha, krit, tadhita, and sanadyanta dhatu vritti. Always in a vritti, the artha of the things are not independent. For example, here let us consider samasa vritti. Okay, what he is saying is vapyam ashvaha vapyashvaha ityasti. Vapyam ashvaha, vapi is a stream, ashvaha is a horse, vapyam ashvaha iti saptami tattvavasya samasaha. कथम अस्ति? वापी ङि अश्व सु. वापी इत्यस्मात् ङि प्रत्ययः सप्तमी एकवचने, अश्व सु. अत्र किं भवति? सुबोधातु प्रातिपदिकयोः इत्यनेन ङि इति प्रत्ययस्य सु इति प्रत्ययस्य च लोपो भवति. वापी अश्व इत्यस्ति. You see, this is something like what we saw in the previous slide, which is about Gauri Adhishritah. There also we had Gauri and Ni, the Saptami Pratyaya, and the Pratyaya was deleted by Supam Suluk, and we still say even though the Pratyaya was deleted, the Pratipadika still retains the meaning of Saptami. That is why it has the Pragrahya Samya. Here also, when you are doing a Vritti, here also Vapyam is Saptami. So the Ni is the Saptami Pratyaya which is deleted by Supodhatu Pratipadikayoho. But here, using the same logic, you will have to say that Vapi, the Pratipadika, still carries the meaning of Saptami. So will we get Pragrahya Samya here also is the question, and there is no Pragrahya Samya. Why is there no Pragrahya Samya? Because he says Vrittau Arthantaropa Samkrante. In Vritti, actually when you are doing a samasa between Vapi and Ashva, the meaning of Vapi is not separate from the meaning of Ashva. That is, you cannot separate and say that this is the meaning of Vapi and this is the meaning of Ashva. An example Kayyata gives is Pamsudakavat. If you have some mud and you add water and mix it, it is not sand, it is proper mud, clay or something, then you cannot separate the mud from the clay. They are merged together. Similarly, in a vritti or in samasa, the meaning of the purva pada and the uttara pada is merged together. It is, you cannot say that the meaning of Vapi is separate and that of Ashva is separate. So how does that matter here? It matters because here Vapi is not only in the Saptam Yartha. It does not carry only the meaning of Saptami. It also is merged with the meaning of Ashva. Why Panini said Artha here, Saptam Yarthe, is where the word carries only the meaning of Saptami and nothing else. Then only you get Pragrahya Samya. If there is a Vritti, this Vapi does not carry only the meaning of Saptami. It carries the meaning of Saptami, but it also has the meaning of Ashva merged with it. So in such cases, there is no Pragrahya Samya and Sandhi will happen. Vapyam Ashvaha. Vapi Ashvaha Yan Sandhau Vapyashvaha iti Rupam. I'm not sure if I made myself clear. Any questions? अनेन प्रगृह्य संज्ञा प्रकरणं समाप्यते. These are all the sutras which tell the प्रगृह्य संज्ञा. Starting from ईदुदे द्विवचनं प्रगृह्यम्, अदसोमात्, शे, निपात एकाजनाङ्, ओत्, सम्बुद्धौ शाकल्यस्येतावनाश्रे, उयः, उ, ईदुतौ च सप्तम्यर्थे. There are 9 sutras which deal with the प्रगृह्य संज्ञा. What is the karya of a pragrihya samya? It is prakriti bhava. It is always the samya. Giving a samya is for some purpose. Using the samya, you have to do some other thing. So if you give vriddhi samya from vriddhi radait, you use the samya in other places. Like you say mrijaya vriddhi or vriddhi rechi or shichi vriddhi parasmay padeshu. Right? So for all samya sutras, there must be some karya, some vidhi sutras where they can apply. So the principal vidhi sutra where pragrihya samya applies is pluta pragrihya achinityam. That is, whatever particle gets pragrihya samya will also get prakriti bhava, right? But that is not the only karya which pragrihya samya gets. It is all, he did not give the pragrihya samya only to say that it gets prakriti bhava. There is also one more thing which happens with prakriti bhava, with pragrihya, and that is something which comes at the end of the Ashtadhyayi. Towards the end, it says Ano pragrhyasya anunasikaha. Anaha apragrhyasya anunasikaha. Vavasane iti purva sutrat va avasane iti anuvartate. Apragrhyasya anaha avasane anunasikaha va bhavati. Kaschana anvaranaha yadi na pragrhyah. Atra pragrihya samyayaha upayogaha asti. Any an which is not a pragrihya will get anunasika, avasana, at the end. If there is nothing else following, viramo avasanam, varnanam abhavaha avasana samyah syat. So if at the avasana, that is if there is nothing following, then an an which is not pragrihya will get anunasika. For example, you have a word dadhi, only dadhi with nothing following. Then there is an an at the end of it, dadhi. That ikara gets an anunasika optionally and it becomes dadhi. Dadhi, dadhi. Iti rupatvam. Sarvesham anvarnanam bhavati, pragrhyasya tu na bhavati. If it is a pragrihya, apragrhyasya kim? Agni. Agni has pragrihya samya by idude dvachanam pragrhyam. Idude dantam dvivachanam pragrihya samyam syat ityanena pragrihya samya bhavati. Pragrihya samyayaha satvat atra anunasikaha na bhavati. Actually using it and saying if it is pragrihya, it will get prakriti bhava. That is, it will not get sandhi, it will also not get anunasika. They are the two karyas which use the samya called pragrihya. Okay, that actually ends the prakriti bhava prakarana. Okay, I'll tell Vapyashvaha again. Any other doubts? We finished Atsandho Prakriti Bhavaha. We finished the Atsandhi Prakarana and also the Prakriti Bhava Prakarana. We would be entering the Hal Sandhis next. Any questions so far? You can ask. Okay.
Namaste. Namaste, Soumya-ji.
Ha, namaste.
Namaste. This 110 Ano pragrahasya anunasikaha applies only in Upadesha or Prayoga also, or it's only
applies in
it's in Prayoga.
Yeah, it is. It is actually at the end of the Ashtadhyayi. So anything which comes towards the end of Ashtadhyayi is used only in the Prayogas. That is, it's some of the last things to happen in Prakriya, and it would occur in Prayoga.
So in literary Sanskrit, you use Anunasika under these conditions. That's what it is.
In literary Sanskrit, actually, the practice of Anunasika itself has gone out of usage. We don't use either the Swaras or the Anunasikas these days. So where you'll actually see it is only in the Vedas, where you'll get an example of Anunasika. In classical Sanskrit, even if we have Anunasika, it makes no difference because it is not used. We do not use the Anunasika unless in some very, very rare cases.
Thank you.
Any other questions? If not, I'll go back to Vapyashvaha. What was the deal with Vapyashvaha is the question. Actually, to understand this properly, you also need to know some other practices of Vyakarana. Why did the question arise? Is the first question. The questioner says, Panini need not have said Idu Taucha Saptamyarthe. He could have said Idu Taucha Saptami. Wherever there is Saptami, there is Idu Tau. He could have said, he need not have said Arthe, that extra word Arthe. The answer to that could be, there is no Saptami Vibhakti directly which has either Ikara or Ukara. Right? For example, if you say Rame or Harau or Shambhav or wherever, if you go wherever, Saptami Vibhakti, any word ending with Saptami Vibhakti is not either Ukaranta or Ikaranta. So there would be no example. Right? If he just said, like he said, Idu that Dvivachanam. Any Dvivachana ending in Ikara, Ukara or Ekara will become Pragrahya. You have Dvivachana forms which end in Ikara, Ukara or Ekara. You have Hari, you have Vishnu, you have Gange, etc. But the problem with Saptami Vibhakti is you do not have any form directly, any form which has Saptami Vibhakti which ends in Ikara or Ukara. Right? So Panini says Arthe, that is, even though the Saptami Vibhakti is not there, if the meaning of the Vibhakti is there. For example, in Gauri Adhishtitaha, in Mamaki Tanu Iti, there is no Vibhakti. We do not hear the Vibhakti because the Vibhakti has been deleted. But still, even if the Vibhakti is deleted, the meaning of Saptami is there. So, in such cases, you get Pragrahya Samya. Even if you do not hear any Saptamyanta word with Ikaranta or Ukaranta, there is Saptamyartha. There is, wherever there are some words which are Ikaranta and Ukaranta and which carry the meaning of Saptami, even though the Saptami Bhakti is not heard. So that is where you actually find an application of this sutra. That is why Panini said Saptamyarthe is the answer. But the question further is, even for that he need not have said Saptamyarthe. Even if he had said just Saptami, we could have derived the meaning called Saptamyarthe. Because there is a standard rule in Vyakarana which says Pratyaya Lope Pratyaya Lakshanam. Even when the Pratyaya is deleted, we assume or we pretend that it is still there. This is something like Sthanivat Bhava. Even though the Sthani has been replaced by Adesha, we treat it as if the Sthani is there. Similarly, whenever there is a deletion of a Pratyaya, Pratyaya Lope, Pratyaya Lakshanam, we still treat it as if the Pratyaya is there. So, even if Panini did not say Saptamyarthe, even if he just said Saptami, wherever the Saptami Vibhakti has been deleted, we can apply this, pretending that the Saptami Vibhakti is still there. So, the actual Purva Paksha, that is the objection is, Panini should not have used this extra Artha. Is the objection clear? Well, if there is no questions, I assume the objection is clear. The objection is that Panini need not have said Arthe. That is why the question begins, Arthagrahanam kim? Kimartham Saptamyarthe iti uchyate. Kevalam Saptami iti ukte eva karyam siddhyati. Just by telling Saptami, Panini could have achieved what he wanted. Why did he put that extra Arthe? Is the question. Okay. Now he says, why he puts that Artha is to emphasize the meaning of Saptami. That is to say that only where there is the pure meaning of Saptami only, then we have Pragrahya Samya. If the meaning of Saptami is contaminated with any other meaning, that is, if it is not only the meaning of Saptami but something else which is also there, then you do not get Pragrahya Samya. To emphasize that the meaning of Saptami should be pure, he uses the word Arthe. What do you mean by the meaning of Saptami being pure is, as I told, in a samasa, where you have, say, Vapyam Ashvaha, where it is a Saptami samasa. After the lopa, deletion of the Pratyaya, this has Saptamyartha. The word Vapi carries the meaning of Saptami, correct. But it has also merged with the meaning of Ashva. That is, it is not only the pure Saptami meaning which is present here. It is also the meaning of Ashva. So, in such cases, there is no Pragrahya Samya. To say that, to emphasize that the meaning of Saptami should not be merged with any other meaning. That is to say that in vritti, that is wherever you have samasa or tadhita or something else, you do not get pragrihya samya. Panini uses the word arthe. The word arthe is required, is the siddhanta. Is that better? Okay. Any other questions? Anything so far, as in it need not be just today's class. So we have covered Samya Prakarana, Paribhasha Prakarana, Achsandhi and Prakriti Bhava. 4 Prakaranas of Kaumudi. The next Prakarana would be Halsandhi Prakarana. So if you have any doubts in what we have done so far, you can ask anytime. We'll start Halsandhi and stop. As in, I don't want to end with a Prakarana. Grimam Prakaranam Bhavati Siddhanta Kaumudyaha Halsandhi Prakaranam. Yatra Halaha Vikaraha Bhavati. Where there is a modification of consonants, it is called Halsandhi. The modification can be either when followed by a swara or when followed by a vyanjana, but the modification is in a consonant. All such cases are dealt with in Halsandhi Prakaranam. Okay. Tatra adimam sutram asti stohu shchuna shchuhu. Shchutva sandhi vastutah atrapi namani shchutva shtutva इत्यादिना नामानि दीयन्ते. स्तोः श्चुनाश्चुः इति प्रथमं सूत्रं. Just a second, please. परत्रयम् अस्ति स्तोः श्चुना श्चुः. स्तोः इति षष्ठी विभक्तिः. स तु, स प्लस तु इस् स्तु, तस्य षष्ठी विभक्तौ स्तोः. यथा गुरु शब्दस्य गुरोः इति भवति षष्ठी विभक्तौ, तथा स्तु इति शब्दस्य स्तोः इति भवति. कः अर्थः? सकारस्य तवर्गस्य च. तु इत्यनेन तवर्गः गृह्यते. कथं? Can somebody tell me why, how tu represents tavarga? Anybody? Why do we say tu is tavarga? Okay, somebody raise their hands.
It is not taparat tatkalasya.
Taparas tatkalasya, no.
It's not
taparas tat. It is not at. Taparas tatkalasya refers only to the and. That is, if there is a swara which is tapara, then it would be a savarna of that kala. Right? So, okay. Shadagopanji?
Anandit savarnasya cha pratyay.
Ha. Katham tasya prayogah atra?
Anandit sanya prakaranam. Anandit.
Correct. How do you apply that sutra?
Udit.
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 Correct. Yeah. So tu iti udit bhavati. Yatra ukaraha it bhavati. Tatra tatkalanam savarnanam grahanam bhavati. Iti arthaha. Tasmat tu ityanena savarnanam tavargiya varnanam grahanam bhavati. Okay. So now sakarasya tavargasya cha sthane. Shchuna iti tritiya vibhakti. Tritiya vibhakti, we have not studied any paribhasha sutra. For all others, for shashti it says shashti sthane yoga. Panchami it says tasmadityuttarasya. Saptami it says tasminiti nirdishte purvasya. But there is no paribhasha which gives the meaning of tritiya, because the meaning of tritiya in shastra is the same as what it is in loka. In लोका. The tritiya vibhakti means with. Saha ityarthah samanyatah. Asmat atrapi sa eva arthah yoge. When associated with it. It is neither para nor purva. Just when it is associated with shakara or chavarga. When sakara or tavarga is associated with either shakara or chavarga, then shchuhu iti prathama vibhakti vidheyaha. Shakara chavargau staha. Shakaraha chavargascha adeshah bhavati. किमर्थमत्र तृतीया उपयुक्ता इत्युक्ते सूत्रार्थः भवति सकारतवर्गयोः शकारचवर्गाभ्यां योगे शकारचवर्गौ स्तः. It means either when sakara or tavarga is followed by shakara or chavarga, or shakara chavarga is followed by sakara tavarga. Both ways. It is not fixed that this is the purva varna and paravarna. It can be either way. That is why Panini says when it is associated with shtuna, shtuna saha bhavati chet, sakara tavargau, shakara chavargabhyam saha bhavatah chet. If it is together, that is when sakara or tavarga is either followed by shakara chavarga or preceded by shakara or chavarga, the adesha will be shakara or chavarga. Sakara tavargayoho shakara chavargabhyam yoge shakara chavargau staha. यथासंख्यम अनुदेश समानाम इत्यनेन सकारस्य शकारः आदेशः तकारस्य चकारः थकारस्य चकारः स्तोः इति षड्वर्णाः श्चुः इत्यपि षड्वर्णाः. The adesha sthani is also 6 in number, adesha is also 6 in number, so we do yathasankhya, that is respectively, and say sakara is always replaced by shakara, whether it is followed by shakara or chavarga, it is always replaced by shakara. Similarly with the other varnas. Example, haris shete ityasti, hari s sh ete. S iti sakaraha, stuhu stohu shchuna shakarena yoge shchuhu bhavati. अर्थात सकारस्य स्थाने शकारः आदेशः भवति. हरिष्येते. रामश्चिनोति. स्तोः श्चुना सकारस्य चवर्गेण योगे शकारादेशः भवति. रामश्चिनोति. Sat chit. Now this is a slightly tricky example. Actually, sat chit, if you directly, there is takara, which is followed by chakara. If we directly do shchutva, we get the form sat chit, which is what we want. But in Vyakarana, the prakriya does not go that way. The Vyakarana prakriya is when you have sat chit, सत् च इति स्थिते झलां जशोन्ते इत्यनेन तकारस्य दकारादेशो भवति. पदान्ते झलां जशः स्युः. At the end of a pada, if there is a jhal varna, it is replaced by dakara. Okay. Then the dakara is converted to jakara by stohushchunashchuhu. Ayamapi sakara tavargayohu. Tavargiyah dakarah tasya shchuna yoge. Chakarena yoge. दकारस्य स्थाने जकारः आदेशः भवति. सज चित्. ततः अस्य जकारस्य खरिच इत्यनेन चकारः. Whenever there is a third letter which is followed by a khar varna, it is converted to the first letter. We'll see the sutra later, kharicha. But this is how we end up with sat chit. Question is, when you have sat chit, directly if you convert takara by shchutva, you get sat chit. So why don't we do that? Why do we have to go to 3 steps to derive chara? Is because all these sutras are in the tripadi. You'll notice that most sutras of hal sandhi are in tripadi, because there needs to be a sequential application. Even though it does not matter in this particular case, there are many cases where the sequence matters, where you have to apply in sequence. Wherever you are dealing with sutras from tripadi, you have to remember that you have to apply them in the order that they appear, because the earlier sutra does not know the later sutra. So jhalam jashonte will not accept if you directly do stoshchunashchuhu. Jhalam jashonte will still think there is takara and it will do dakara, which will convert it into dakara. It does not know that chutva exists. So jhalam jashonte gains precedence. You do jastva first, then you do shchutva. Because chutva knows that jastva has appeared, it converts the dakara to jakara. Once chutva is also done, you have kharicha, which converts this jakara to chakara. So the application has to be in the order of tripadi. Right? सत् चित् सच्चित् शार्ङ्गिन् जय नकारस्य तवर्गीयस्य नकारस्य च जकारेण योगे ञकारः चवर्गपञ्चमाक्षरः ञकारः आदेशः भवति शार्ङ्गिन् जय इति रूपम् ओके I think we'll stop here येनाक्षरसमाम्नायम् अधिगम्य महेश्वरात् कृत्स्नं व्याकरणं प्रोक्तं तस्मै पाणिनये नमः वाक्यकारं वररुचिं भाष्यकारं पतञ्जलिं पाणिनिं सूत्रकारं च प्रणतोऽस्मि मुनित्रयं नमस्कृत्य तदुक्तिः परिभाव्य च वैयाकरणसिद्धान्तकौमुदीयं विरच्यते The Anudit Savarnasya cha pratyayah tells that wherever there is an un letter or a letter which is udit, then they will be they'll carry their savarnas along with them. For example, there is an un letter which is akara. One second, please. The un akara is an un letter. So when it is when you say a, it also brings all its savarnas with it, which means it brings all its 18 letters. So a always means 18. Similarly, an example for udit is this ku or tu, where ukara gets its samya by upadeshya janunasika. Whenever the letter is made udit, it will also carry all its savarnas along with it. So wherever you say tu, it means the savarnas of takara. The savarnas of takara are ta, tha, da, dha, na. Tulyasya prayatnam savarnam ityanena yesham sthanam prayatnashcha samanam bhavati tau savarnau bhavataha. Anything which has the same sthana and prayatna will be called savarna. So ta, tha, da, dha, na are all savarnas of each other. That is why tu would mean all letters of tavarga. Any other questions? Okay, so we can stop, I guess.